WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Tommy Lopez. We start with the debate over who should be allowed to lead prayers at area schools. The school district in Starkville clarified their stance tonight. This is the Starkville-Oktibbeha Consolidated School District. It's been discussing this plan. The board voted unanimously tonight to adopt the IGAA Student Religious Liberties Policy. Here's what that means. There cannot be any organized prayer from any adults, ministers, teachers, anyone else. Only students can start and lead prayers now at school or at school functions.
This policy sets out what students may be chosen to represent the student body at graduation, at whatever ceremony, at the football game, that what student leadership positions could actually participate in student-initiated, student-led prayer.
Holloway says this policy will take effect July 1st. Trustees also selected Keith Coble as the board's new president. Billboards could soon have new guidelines in Starkville. The Board of Aldermen there are beginning the groundwork for a new billboard ordinance. The city approved a contract tonight with Mississippi State's Carl Small Town Center. It's to develop design standards. It'll be for bases to help build future billboards in the city. The idea here is to have all the signs look the same in Starkville. To the debate over a potential new jail. The city of Tupelo responded today to comments the county made Monday. This all relates to a bill that's in the state capitol right now. It would help Lee County build a new jail, but it hasn't passed in Jackson. Sheriff Jim Johnson, here on the left, he says the county could build a new jail and no longer hold Tupelo inmates if it wants to. Tupelo Mayor Jason Shelton commented on this comment today to us for the first time. He says that if that happens, the city can build a jail of its own. They explain their positions tonight, and our Victoria Bailey shows us just how bad the conditions are inside the jail.
We've had a need for a new facility for quite some time.
Serving jail time isn't supposed to be pleasant, but Lee County Sheriff Jim Johnson says conditions are almost unbearable inside the facility.
There's no cameras for anybody to be sitting in a video booth with there's none of that in here, and you can't put it in here because of the construction. You've got plumbing issues that absolutely cannot be fixed. In this tower, the restroom for my employees are beneath that tower, underground. Well, they put a bathroom below ground level. We've literally had sewage 2 and 3 feet deep in an employee work area where they can't even use the restroom.
Johnson says the Sheriff's Department and Tupelo leaders met about 5 years ago to discuss a jail that would house law enforcement for both agencies. Mayor Jason Shelton says because the old police department had mold inside, the city opted to quickly build a new facility. However, he hopes to keep a great working relationship with the Sheriff's Department.
We need a new jail here. And my hope, of course, is that the jail remains in the city of Tupelo. That's been the law for over 100 years, so hopefully, stay here.
Now, Johnson tossed out several ideas, including a regional jail that fell through. Then Johnson and the Board of Supervisors pushed legislation to move the jail outside of the city limits. Now, that bill is on hold in the state Senate, which the longtime sheriff is blaming on Tupelo leaders. Johnson says the county now wants to build its own facility. However, now that the county is under contract with Tupelo, it must build a jail within a mile of the city limits if the contract is to stay in place.
So this bill we've got, it will allow Lee County, and that's all it affects, the only county. It will allow Lee County to build a jail anywhere they want to build it. We still can hold your prisoners. We can still charge you. It's going to run it runs the same way it does now with the other municipalities.
City and county leaders agree that a new jail is needed, but have vastly different opinions on how to solve the problem.
If the city had to go back to operating a jail, that's something we could do. That hasn't been done in about 25 years here in Lee County for any municipality. I don't anticipate that, but if that was forced upon us, we would deal with it.
All we got to do is just don't enter into a contract with the city of Tupelo. And then it becomes our choice to whether, wherever we want to build it, then it's our choice whether we want to hold their prisoners or not. If we don't hold them, I've got rid of part of my problem, and I can build a jail wherever I want to.
In Tupelo, I'm Victoria Bailey for WCBI News.
Victoria, thank you. And that bill is still in the state Senate there in Jackson. All right, to our weather tonight. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson is in with us tonight. And Keith, after all that rain today, it's all moved out. We're looking clear.
Some pretty good storms earlier today. Those storms now well off to our south. You can see the line of storms now moving offshore into the Gulf of Mexico, but it was a topsy-turvy type day around here. We started off with some showers, some pretty good thunderstorms, and then we had a nice little respite there as the sun was going on down, some color showing some signs there of life, just as the sun was going on down in Columbus. Now, temperatures are cooling on down. We're in the low 50s and upper 40s in most of the area. Mid-40s and upper 30s back to the northwest, and that is a sign of things to come for us later on tonight. Mid-30s in Tupelo, low 40s in Columbus tonight. There could be a little bit of patchy frost or fog out there, but clear, and 44 in West Point tomorrow, and we're going to take it up to about 70. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Keith, thank you. Just some very sad news to our south. Witnesses tell CBS News it looked like this bus was stuck in the train crossing. A crash there in Biloxi killed 4 people today. It injured more than 30 more. CBS's Don Champion is there with the latest.
First responders in Biloxi, Mississippi scrambled to remove the wounded from the scene of a deadly collision between a charter bus and a freight train. A CSX train pushed the bus 300 feet down the tracks.
It's a terrible, chaotic scene right now, but we have it under control.
46 people were on the bus, many of them senior citizens. They were headed to a casino. Emergency crews had to cut through the wreckage to remove at least 2 people. Helicopters transported some of the wounded.
What we're doing is we're using all of the people that we can use to help as many people as we can help on the scene right now.
Witnesses say the bus looked like it was stuck in the crossing right before impact.
Looked like it had bottomed out over that hump, and like I said, looked like he was almost trying to back up.
A heavy-duty tow truck was brought in to hoist the bus off the tracks. The train crew was not injured, and the crossing has both flashing lights and gates. Don Champion, CBS News.
A delivery truck collided with the train at that same railroad crossing just 2 months earlier. No one, though, was hurt in that crash.
39 in Oxford right now. It's going to be a chilly night after those storms today. We are rewarded with the sun tomorrow. The latest up next.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, let's go back to this morning. Showers and storms coming on in from Memphis, Tennessee, and this line of storms with this cold front advance all the way through. These storms perked up a little bit around noon and shortly thereafter, and now well down to our south. And see that big blue H right there? That is high pressure. That is going to give us some pretty nice weather for the next 2 days. A few storm reports around the region today. Some wind reported there near Starkville. Also a little bit of hail and wind down there along the Interstate 20 corridor. But generally speaking, in the grand scheme of things, springtime severe weather, a minor bump in the road for us. We can see some massive weather events this time of year. We dodged a bullet with this little episode today. So we're thankful for that. Sunny skies for the next 2 days, a few showers possible Friday morning, and then another system for your Saturday. Hello weekend, right, with a little bit more rain. Here's our Alpha Insurance time lapse from downtown Columbus this evening. Absolutely gorgeous, a little burst of color as the sun was going on down. After a gloomy day and all that rainfall, it was nice to see a little bit of sunshine. About a 1-inch total in Tupelo and Columbus today, 47 in Tupelo, 51 in Columbus, and there are some pockets of upper 30s popping on up here right now. So it is cooling on down. It's going to take us all night long to cool down into the 30s and lower 40s around here. Fulton, how about this? Sunny and 39 in the morning, by noon 64. And by 4 o'clock, we're looking at 69. Let's just average things out at about 70. Let's just split the difference here and go with 70. That's a nice friendly number, friendly sunshine. It's going to be a pretty nice Wednesday for us. And light and variable wind. It's been pretty blustery around here over the last 24 hours with that big wind energy moving on through. And across the Twin States here, generally speaking, low 70s from north to south here in our region. There's high pressure again, and look how big this storm system is. The actual center way up there in Canada, and that cold front goes all the way down here to the Gulf Coast. Another amazing system. High pressure slides on in, as we've been alluding to, and that will stay with us for Thursday too. Now watch that front right there. That slips through Friday morning. We may squeeze out a few showers with that, and then it's going to come back to the north sometime Saturday, that system, that front, and that's going to give us a chance for some showers and even a few thunder showers as well, and some cooler temperatures for this weekend. So 70 tomorrow, 74 Thursday, 70 Friday with those morning showers. A better rain chance Saturday. We're hopeful that we can clear a lot of that out for Sunday, but it will be a little bit cooler as we close out the weekend.
Yeah, and a lot of people affected by the rain today. Yeah, nothing severe, like you said, but a lot of rain, a lot of wind today.
Yeah, and tomorrow, a lot of sunshine is going to dry things out, dry the golf courses out, and you can get back to your golf game on Thursday.
Yeah, looking better. Lots of sunshine, too, in the next couple of days.
We'll take it.
Yeah, Keith, thank you very much. A couple from Wisconsin has made a cross-country connection with a North Mississippi city. We have more from Amory. More on this story and what they're trying to accomplish coming up next. That town in Wisconsin that shares a name with Mississippi's Amory, people there came to visit Mississippi this week. Our Selena Schaefer brought us this story last week. It's on the conversations between these two towns and how they linked up. She met the teacher today who's trying to bring a new experience to his students up in Wisconsin.
We knew we had a spring break coming, and I just said we got to go to Amory on our spring break.
And to Amory they came. Just last week, Mayor Brad Blaylock and Michael Simonson met for the very first time via FaceTime. This week, they met in person. And even better, Blaylock gave Simonson and his wife a tour around town.
More than met my expectations. It's been just a great experience getting to meet everybody down here. Everybody is so warm and welcoming.
This visit started with an idea to connect two separate yet very similar towns.
Just the friendliness of the community. There's so many similarities. It's amazing. We have a hair place, it's called Cut Above, and I see they had one here also. So there's just so many similarities, but just the warmth of the people, the friendliness of the people is amazing. It's just a great community.
The husband and wife duo even surprised the local food pantry with a donation.
This is the first time we've had a group from this far away to be interested in our food pantry, and they were gracious enough to bring this much food from that far away. So it truly means a lot. We want to introduce them to our clients and let them know that people that far away care about them.
Anybody that'll travel almost 1,000 miles to do charitable work for another town, I mean, they're amazing people, and it's been a delight to get to meet them.
Simonson is making this Twin Town experiment a fun and educational experience for his students.
The kids came up with an idea of having a food drive, and they did this food drive. It was just the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade that did it last week, 4 days last week. We had themes. We got a hold of the pantry down here and asked what they needed, and so we had theme days for every day of what they needed.
Blaylock says it's a lesson the nation can learn from.
We are inundated in the media right now with divides and differences. However, I believe there's so much more good and similarities out there that people just don't realize it. And I think it's important for our young people to understand that there is greatness in the world, there's great people in the world, and there's a hunger for people to help one another. And I think it's important to show that. So I'm super excited, especially for you guys, to be reporting on something like that.
They did come a long way. Simonson says that he plans to continue this project, the Amory to Amory project, in the future. There's some video you just have to see from Jackson today. There are sports fanatics across the country talking about this last-second shot from one of our area high schools in the state semifinals, no less. That's next.
WCBI sports coverage of Mississippi High School State Championships is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center. Advanced medicine, compassionate care.
What a day two it's been for the Mississippi High School basketball state semifinals. Emotions of all kinds showed down in Jackson, and that's exactly why we all love sports. We'll start first with the Okolona boys. They haven't lost since game one of the season, taking on Coahoma County. Here early on, Chieftains down by 4. Ladarius Spear, nice post to cut passer to Ja'Cory Stanfield for 2. Okolona still trails by 2. Later on, Okolona gets a steal. Jalen Bailey gets the steal, brings it, scoop and score. And then second quarter, we go Okolona. Here we go, fourth quarter, down, or Okolona up by 12. Stanfield takes the contact and the finish, but 4 seconds left to go. Or here we go. Look at this shooter's roll. There's the take with the finish. Okolona would be up by 14, but here with 4 seconds left, Cameron Smith dribbles the ball off his foot. Coahoma County completes the big comeback in the fourth quarter. Okolona falls 66-64. End of the game of the year, the viral game of the year. Baldwin taking on West Tallahatchie in a rematch of the 2A semis. Early on for Baldwin, DeQuantre Welch gets the ball inside and score. Bearcats lead early on. Later on, the man of the day, Calvin Harris. He's going to drain a smooth mid-range jumper right there. Baldwin extending that lead. Still in the first, Baldwin up by 2. Harris gets again, drains another 3. But then the biggest 3 would be coming up here in a minute. West Tallahatchie is going to drain a 3-pointer from downtown Disney. That's going to put them up by 2 with 4 seconds left. But here come the Bearcats. Look at this beautiful inbounds pass from more than half court. Bam! That is how you drain a game-winning shot. Baldwin goes on to the 2A finals, wins it 55-54. This game's been picked up by Sports Illustrated, ESPN, some stations in Chicago. Go check it out. Go nuts, folks. And then we'll go to the latest game. Jarkel Joyner and the Oxford Chargers taking on Laurel, jumping up to 5A early on for the Chargers. Jeremiah Peaks gets the ball down low. The big fella knows how to finish using the glass. Later on in the first, it'd be Joyner. Stop ball. No one stops ball. He gets into the paint with the finish. Then second quarter we go. Oxford down by 8. Terry Williams here drains the triple from the corner. Cuts into that lead. It'll be a 5-point game. Later on, Joyner's going to find Drew Bianco. Bianco's going to do the grown man finish with the contact and the foul. The Chargers lose a nail-biter to Laurel. 67-65. Joyner finished with 35 in his final game with Oxford. Then we'll take a look at some 5A action in the girls' side. West Point trying to get to the state championship, taking on Ridgeland. Amari Hurd gets the ball down low. She'd be stripped as she goes to shoot, but Jemiah Hollings is there to finish up the mess. Lady Wave leave